Hey, it's Katie, and we've got this big event coming up, Handprint Legacy Live, that I know you've been hearing about, and you may be on the fence about whether or not to get your ticket. So today I am interviewing my friend Hope Ware, who was with us at last year's Handprint Legacy Live. And her business has just grown by leaps and bounds over the last year since she attended the event. And so I brought her in today so that she can share with you her experience from the event, things that she learned that has helped them grow their business. So Hope, thank you so much for spending time with us.
Hey, Katie, thanks for letting me share. In reflecting on Handprint Legacy from last year, one of the things, first of all, I did not expect was it is like a fiesta. So when she says that, it is like this amazing, engaging 3-day party where you feel like, when you go to a party and you walk in the door and you think instantly, I have found my place and this is where I fit and this is where I'm going to make some friends. And that was how it felt. It was like being embraced like by all these people all at once. And you felt very accepted and very much like you were where you needed to be. And I didn't honestly expect that to happen, like walking into, because when you sign up, you're like, okay, this is like a business connection thing. This is like a business thing. And it was more like a friends encouraging friends thing. And so I thought that was super exciting. So as I reflect back a year later, I really remember all those warm feelings and some of the people that I met, I'm still in touch with a year later. So now I am super anticipating walking in the room this year and thinking, oh, I know her and her and her. And it's like seeing old friends and thinking, oh, I can't wait to like find out what's happened in their lives in the last 12 months or so.
That's
Business,
awesome.
yeah. Business wise, I'm in a very different place now than I was a year ago. A year ago, we were like, we had just started and I felt like I was at that place when you attend events like this. I feel like you absorb what you need to know at the time. So you absorb things in layers. So what I was absorbing last year, the knowledge and wisdom, I feel like it's going to be on a whole new level this year. So just walking and being aware of what I'd really like to glean from it and knowing where I was last year and comparing it to this year and thinking, all right, so this is what I need to know now. It's always that next thing. It's like, okay, this is what I need to really focus and hone in on this year as opposed to last year. But that's what I love about your events, because I feel like there's designed so much for people who are just starting out to people who have been doing this for years. And no matter where you are in that trajectory, there are like, you have the ability to like hold on to all kinds of different things from the event.
Yeah, and that's a really good point too. When you're going to an event, to not to plan on taking everything in, right? But to really look at where you are and what is it that I'm wanting to learn and how can I find that one nugget or that one conversation with that one person that's going to really get me to the next level in this area. And when I go to events, I usually make a list in advance of who I want to talk to and
Yeah.
what specific things I need to learn that I think are my next steps. And I'm really looking for those opportunities to find those people, to have those conversations in virtual, in the breakout rooms or in the Facebook group or, things like that, that are going to meet those specific needs that I know that I have. I love that you did that and pointing out that even though you may have heard some of the info before, you're at a different place. And so it means
Mhm.
something different to you now. What
Exactly.
what do you think is the big thing that you're looking for this year?
Last year, I barely had any products. I barely had any sales. And so this year, we had an amazing year on YouTube where our channel just exploded. And so now we have lots of subscribers on YouTube. And so just looking at that and thinking, okay, what is it? One of the things I'm really looking for, Katie, is to figure out now that I'm there. And now that we have some people following us, what is the real message? What is that core message, and making sure that I'm staying true to that. Because anytime you're in business, you get lots of input from lots of different people. And so there's this thing that happens in your brain that says, oh, maybe I should try that, or maybe I should try that, or maybe I should try that. And you wind up like all over the roadmap. So just trying to figure out what your core business values are, who you are and who you are meant to serve, and really praying that God will help you figure out how to hone in on that message that you're supposed to deliver to impact lives. That I'm really looking for that this year. I'm looking to help like sharpen that impact point.
That's awesome, because I know that day one is going to be all about that.
Yay. Oh, that's
So
perfect.
yeah, I'm really excited because you're defining the exact sessions that we're planning to hold this year. So
I'm
you're going to
so
get what you're
excited.
looking for, I guarantee.
Yay.
So what would you say to somebody who's like, it's online, like it's in front of screens, more Zoom? Are you kidding me? Like, what do you say to that person who's really just like, I don't know if I have time for 3 days in front of my computer?
Yeah. It is so interactive, and you go to great lengths to make it feel like you're in the room with all these other people. So it's not just, I mean, Zoom meetings, I mean, heavens, you stare at the screen for a while and you're like, I'm just zoned out. I'm in my own world. And it's not like that at all. There's always something new around the corner, and you keep it moving. So every time you go to a different session, it's different material presented differently. And so it's always that excitement of thinking, oh, I can't wait to see what's going to happen next, rather than just, oh, this is 3 days of a Zoom meeting. It is not like that at all. Very, very interactive. The breakout rooms are super helpful. So last year you broke us into small groups. So we got kind of that. Um, it's almost like, when you go to church and you like pick those small groups to be a part of, because you can really sort of connect with people a little better and share your heart with people. So you made sure that like throughout the 3 days, we had multiple opportunities to just connect with different people that were there in the conference with us, and have those moments where you got to really just sort of offload what you were thinking to other people who could give you feedback. And I love that.
Yeah. And we really try to structure those as well. So, like, if you're
Mhm.
one of those introverted, like, I don't know if I can talk to people kind of person, we really try to give you some specific direction when we break you out. So it's not like just go spend 10 minutes with someone you've never met. It's like, here, you're going to go into this room with these other people, and each of you are going to share this, right? And making sure
Mhm.
that everybody gets time to share and get feedback, because it's not just about what is being taught from the stage. It's also about getting the perspectives of other people in the community that really can cement some of what you're learning. And some of my best ideas have come from breakout groups like that at events that I've attended. All right. And so the biggest takeaway that you had last year, like if there was one thing you took away from the event that really moved your business, what would you say that was?
It really, one of the things, and I know I've shared this personally with you before, is that I found myself as a businesswoman functioning from fear instead of faith. So just like trying to implement new things, not because I felt like God was leading me to do those things, but because I was fearful. I'm like, oh, what if business falls off? What if I don't sell anything? What if I don't have anything meaningful to say to these people? What if they hate me? That's a huge one for me. What if they hate me? What if I get negative feedback? What if? So I spent all my time like envisioning these what ifs and acting out of the what ifs. And the big takeaway for me at the conference is I had to stop doing that. It really it showed me so much that I needed to internalize the fact that God had given me a message, and to begin to function out of faith rather than functioning out of fear. And that made a huge, huge difference in our business.
I love that. I love that. It's so important, because when we recognize that God owns our business, like we teach in our business with God
Mhm.
classes, right? God owns your business. You are managing it for him as the CEO. Then you do get to function out of what does God say instead of what is everybody else going to say.
Yeah.
And it's so freeing.
And I think for me, it was just that, because when you begin functioning out of faith, you realize that, first of all, I don't have to know the whole plan. It's like, it's not, I have to follow what the next step is, but I don't have to know like the big picture of necessarily exactly where it's going, because God has that all, in his provision. He has it all planned. And it showed me that my job as a CEO was just to follow what he was telling me the next step is. And sometimes he opens doors and I'm like, really, never ever would have thought about that door. Never would have considered that in a million years. Like our YouTube channel. Last year when I went to the conference, there was no YouTube channel. This year we went in 5 months from 200 subscribers to 20,000 subscribers. Never in a billion years would have foreseen that.
Praise the Lord. And so how is what you learned from that? How are you able to turn those subscribers on YouTube then into subscribers to your email list, and to like, how is that YouTube growth then affected the other things because of what you learned for funnels and things?
Oh, it did. It was huge. So one of the things that I learned from the conference was the most important thing you can be is your authentic you. Be the person God designed you to be. Don't look at what other people are doing. And on YouTube, that's super important because people can spot a phony like from 500 paces when they're seriously, they can figure out you're just trying to be like every other channel. You're not trying to be the unique you that you were designed to be. So once we sort of got into a groove of, you know what, my husband is on the channel with me and we're like, this is us. This is our real, genuine, unique self. And people began to follow us. And then we said, hey, you know what? If you want to learn some more from us, we have this really great free resource. Just sign up for this. There's a link in the description of the video. And people started signing up like droves. And then that was when I relied on that sales funnel, that welcome sequence, and the funnel that you taught me. And I went back to that time and time again saying, okay, so what's the next thing? What's the next step I need to do? And guiding them toward, you know what, if you love this free information, here is a $10 ebook that you can buy from us that tells you a lot more that I was able to give you in the freebie. And it worked.
Love it. It worked.
It's almost like I'm surprised. It worked.
It worked. It worked.
It worked.
Yes.
It worked.
Awesome.
And just being genuine in those funnels too, not like trying to say, I'm going to sell you something. Just say, you know what? I not only do I recognize that this might be an issue with you, this was an issue with me. This was my life before I implemented XYZ. And because I understand where you're coming from, I want to be able to help you.
Thank you so much for being with us today, Hope. Any last words for somebody still sort of on the fence about coming to Handprint Legacy Live?
Sign up if you want something that's life-changing. And even if you were there last year, I want to see your smiling face this year because I am so looking forward to gleaning new information from the conference this year. So sign up. You won't regret it.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And you guys need to go follow Hope. We'll put all of her links down in the show notes here for you. And I can't wait to see you. We've got a handful of tickets left. They're going fast. Handprintlegacylive.com is where you want to go to get your ticket. And we can't wait to help you put together your first or your next online marketing funnel at Handprint Legacy Live.